When it comes to male personality archetypes, most people are well acquainted with the familiar figures of the alpha and beta male. The alpha is typically seen as dominant, assertive, and naturally commanding in social settings, a leader who thrives on recognition and control. The beta, on the other hand, is often portrayed as cooperative, agreeable, and team-oriented, someone who values harmony and belonging within a group. These roles have long served as the primary lenses through which male behavior is interpreted. But there's a third archetype, less talked about, yet increasingly relevant in modern culture: the Sigma male. Sigma males stand apart because they defy traditional social hierarchies altogether. They don't compete for dominance like alphas, nor do they seek group validation like betas. Instead, they chart their own course, operating outside the typical structures of power and status. Often referred to as lone wolves, Sigma males are fiercely independent thinkers. Their sense of identity is not shaped by the opinions or expectations of others, but by their internal drive and personal values. They move through the world with quiet confidence, rarely demanding attention, yet somehow drawing it effortlessly. What makes Sigma males so fascinating is the paradox they embody. They can be present in a room without trying to command it, and yet people notice them. They seem approachable, even ordinary, but carry an undeniable aura of depth and intensity. Their public persona is often understated, almost minimalistic, yet their private world is rich, layered, and full of purpose. This duality makes them difficult to pin down, and even harder to predict. In this exploration, we'll peel back the layers of the Sigma male archetype. We'll examine what sets them apart from their alpha and beta counterparts, and dive deep into the hidden contrast between how they appear in public and who they truly are in private. Here are 10 intriguing truths that shed light on the complex and often misunderstood nature of the Sigma male's dual existence. 1. The real reason Sigma males hide their success. One of the most intriguing traits of Sigma males is their tendency to keep their achievements under wraps. Unlike alpha males, who often seek the spotlight and use their success as a tool for social dominance, Sigma males practice what could be called strategic concealment. Their decision to hide their accomplishments isn't rooted in insecurity, shyness, or even humility. It's a conscious choice designed to protect their freedom and maintain control. Sigma males understand a crucial truth. The more visible you are, the more you become a target. Success, when displayed too openly, often invites scrutiny, jealousy, and even attempts at sabotage. By staying low-key, they sidestep the noise and avoid the distractions that come with public recognition. This gives them the advantage of operating without interference, allowing them to move more freely and make decisions without the burden of external opinions. There's also immense psychological power in mystery. When a Sigma male's true capabilities remain hidden, it creates an aura of unpredictability. Competitors often underestimate them because they don't see the full picture. Meanwhile, others become curious, intrigued by the quiet confidence and unspoken competence. This subtle influence gives a Sigma male a unique edge in social and professional dynamics. They're not expected to dominate, and yet their presence and performance often exceed expectations. At the heart of this behavior is the private victory mentality. While many people chase outward validation, applause, and public praise, Sigma males find satisfaction in solitude. Their wins are deeply personal and celebrated in silence. This internal focus allows them to stay aligned with their goals, immune to the emotional roller coaster of public perception. By avoiding the spotlight, they preserve their energy, protect their peace, and stay laser-focused on their own mission, on their own terms. 2. Why Sigma males intentionally appear average. One of the most subtle yet powerful traits of the Sigma male is his ability to intentionally present himself as average. At first glance, he may seem entirely unremarkable, blending effortlessly into the background of everyday life. His clothing is modest and understated, his demeanor calm and reserved, and his presence almost deliberately low profile. He doesn't flaunt wealth, boast about achievements, or dominate conversations. In fact, he often speaks only when necessary, choosing his words with care while allowing others to take center stage. This isn't a case of lacking ambition or confidence. On the contrary, it's a calculated strategy known as the disguise of normality. By appearing average, The Sigma male is able to navigate social and professional spaces without drawing undue attention to himself. This deliberate low visibility enables him to move through environments largely undetected and unchallenged. Others, seeing him as non-threatening or even forgettable, tend to drop their guard around him, often revealing valuable insights, opinions, or vulnerabilities that would otherwise remain hidden. The brilliance of this approach lies in the element of surprise. When the Sigma male finally chooses to act, whether in business, competition, or relationships, his hidden competence and sharp intellect come as a shock to those who underestimated him. This sudden reveal not only shifts power dynamics in his favor, but also leaves a lasting impression that is far more impactful than any overt display of strength. This strategy closely mirrors the ancient wisdom of Sun Tzu in the Art of War, where he advises, "Appear weak when you are strong." It is a timeless principle of psychological warfare, projecting vulnerability to gain an unseen advantage. The Sigma male's average appearance is a form of modern camouflage, allowing him to operate with precision, observe without interference, and strike with maximum impact, all while the world remains largely unaware of the quiet power he possesses beneath the surface. 3. Secretly creative, publicly logical. On the surface, Sigma males often appear to be the epitome of logic and rationality. In public, they present a calm, analytical demeanor, measured in their actions, deliberate in their decisions, and seemingly guided more by intellect than emotion. They're known for their problem-solving abilities and their methodical approach to challenges. Whether in professional environments or social settings, they are perceived as cool-headed strategists who prioritize reason over instinct or sentiment. However, this public persona only reveals part of who they truly are. Beneath that composed exterior lies a deeply creative and often richly imaginative inner world. In private, Sigma males may engage in highly expressive and artistic activities, writing poetry or fiction, painting, composing music, or exploring abstract philosophies that challenge conventional thought. Their minds are often alive with ideas that defy traditional structures, and their creativity is a driving force that fuels much of their quiet power and originality. But this artistic side is rarely shared openly. For Sigma males, creativity is a deeply personal process, one that thrives in solitude and privacy. Unlike some who use their creative talents as a form of social capital or public expression, Sigmas see their artistic pursuits as intimate reflections of their inner selves. To share them publicly would be to expose a part of themselves that they deliberately shield from the outside world. It would invite vulnerability, challenge the control they maintain over their image, and potentially open them up to judgment or misunderstanding. In this way, their logical public facade serves as both a buffer and a barrier. It keeps their emotional world protected while allowing them to navigate social spaces with authority and detachment. This balance between visible rationality and hidden creativity is part of what makes Sigma males so complex and so compelling. They are thinkers and artists, strategists and dreamers, all at once. And the mystery lies in how much they choose to reveal. For privately fascinated by strange and unusual topics. At first glance, Sigma males often appear detached or disinterested in everyday conversations. They tend to shy away from the typical small talk that dominates social interactions. Topics like sports scores, celebrity gossip, or the latest social media trends. In group settings, they may come across as distant or even aloof, quietly observing rather than actively participating. This outward massive disinterest is often misinterpreted as boredom or arrogance, when in truth, it conceals a rich and curious inner world. Behind this composed exterior lies a mind that is intensely fascinated by topics far outside the mainstream. Sigma males are often drawn to the strange, the obscure, and the intellectually provocative. In private, they dive deep into subjects like ancient civilizations, esoteric philosophies, fringe sciences, and occult knowledge. Their bookshelf may be filled with dense philosophical texts, their playlist full of obscure lectures, and their search histories peppered with everything from metaphysical paradoxes to unsolved mysteries and conspiracy theories. They aren't just curious. They are obsessed with uncovering hidden truths and questioning established narratives. This deep engagement with unusual topics gives Sigma males a significant intellectual edge. By immersing themselves in unconventional ideas, they develop unique mental frameworks and perspectives that differ radically from the norm. This allows them to approach problems with creativity and flexibility, often arriving at solutions others would never consider. Their minds are trained to explore patterns, question assumptions, and connect dots in unexpected ways. Ultimately, this private fascination with the strange and unusual is not just a hobby. It's a defining feature of the Sigma male's identity. It fuels their independent thinking, deepens their introspective nature, and enhances their ability to operate outside the boundaries of conventional wisdom. While others may overlook them in casual settings, their quiet intellect is always at work, peering into the unknown, questioning the accepted, and expanding the limits of understanding in ways that are both profound and deeply personal. 5. Why Sigma males downplay their intelligence. One of the most intriguing psychological strategies employed by Sigma males is what could be called a fool's gambit, the deliberate act of downplaying their intelligence rather than flaunting their knowledge or asserting dominance in conversations. Sigma males often pretend to know less than they actually do. They ask questions they already know the answers to, listen attentively while others explain basic concepts, and adopt a posture of curiosity rather than authority. This tactic isn't about insecurity or false humility. It's a calculated move. Sigma males understand that revealing their full intellectual capacity up front often provokes defensiveness, competition, or resistance. By playing the fool, they lower others' guard. People become more relaxed, more candid, and far more likely to reveal their genuine thoughts, intentions, or even weaknesses. In these moments, the Sigma male gathers valuable insights without ever exposing his own depth of understanding. This act of strategic concealment serves another purpose as well. It allows the Sigma to operate unnoticed in high-stakes environments. When perceived as non-threatening or less capable, they're often overlooked by competitors or underestimated by peers. This gives them the advantage of surprise, positioning them to strike with precision at the right moment. Whether in business, intellectual debates, or personal dynamics, this underestimation becomes a powerful asset. Then comes the moment of revelation, when a Sigma male finally chooses to display his intelligence, perhaps through a brilliant insight, a flawlessly executed plan, or a subtle but devastating observation. It often catches others off guard. By the time those around him realize the extent of his mental acuity, it's usually too late to respond effectively. The Sigma has already reshaped the playing field to his advantage. In essence, downplaying intelligence is not about hiding who they are, it's about control. Sigma males understand that timing and perception are everything. They use the fool's gambit, not to deceive maliciously, but to master social dynamics and gain an edge in a world that often mistakes quietness for ignorance. 6. Emotionless in public, deeply emotional in private. One of the most misunderstood traits of the Sigma male is his emotional expression, or rather, his apparent lack of it. In public, Sigma males present themselves with unwavering stoicism. Whether faced with conflict, drama, or emotionally charged situations, they remain composed and seemingly unaffected. This emotional detachment gives the impression that they are cold or indifferent, impervious to stress or sentiment. It's the classic iceberg effect. What people see on the surface is only a fraction of what lies beneath. Beneath this calm exterior, however, Sigma males possess a rich and often intense emotional world. Far from being emotionless, they are deeply introspective and highly attuned to their inner feelings. In private, they allow themselves to process and explore their emotions fully, often through methods like journaling, meditative reflection, or creative outlets such as writing, music, or visual art. These private rituals allow them to understand their emotional responses with precision, making them emotionally intelligent in ways that are rarely visible to the outside world. The decision to keep emotions hidden in public is not rooted in emotional repression, but in intentional self-preservation. Sigma males recognize that emotional exposure often invites manipulation. When others know your emotional triggers, they can exploit them, whether consciously or unconsciously. By keeping their feelings tightly guarded, Sigma males maintain control over their environment and interactions. Their emotional privacy becomes a form of psychological armor, protecting them from unnecessary vulnerability and social intrusion. This dual nature, emotionless in public but deeply emotional in private, makes Sigma males uniquely complex. They are not emotionless robots, but highly sensitive individuals who simply refuse to let their emotional landscape become public property. Their ability to separate their inner world from external pressures gives them strength, clarity, and resilience in a world that often rewards spectacle over substance. 7. Secretly strategic, publicly spontaneous. At first glance, Sigma males often come across as spontaneous, even impulsive. They might make last-minute decisions, shift directions without warning, or seem to act on instinct rather than careful consideration. This laid-back, go-with-the-flow demeanor leads many to believe they're simply improvising their way through life. But this outward appearance is a carefully crafted illusion, because in truth, Sigma males are highly strategic thinkers. Behind the scenes, every action a Sigma male takes is a result of deep internal analysis. Long before they make a move, they have already played out multiple scenarios in their mind, weighing the consequences, calculating the risks, and forecasting the outcomes. Their ability to assess situations from a distance and prepare silently gives them a significant advantage in both personal and professional arenas. They act only when the timing and conditions align with their desired result. This approach mirrors the mindset of a chess master, someone who always thinks several steps ahead, anticipating moves long before others are even aware of the game. But unlike a traditional strategist who might draw attention to their intellect or planning, the Sigma male deliberately masks this foresight with a facade of spontaneity. The result is a mystifying combination. A man who seems relaxed and effortless, yet somehow always ends up exactly where he needs to be. This duality, secret strategy paired with public unpredictability, makes Sigma males particularly difficult to read and nearly impossible to manipulate. While others may act impulsively and face the consequences later, the Sigma appears to act on impulse but lands on success with near precision. Their brilliance lies not only in how they think, but in how well they disguise that thinking until it counts the most. 8. The hidden criteria Sigma males use to choose friends. When it comes to relationships and social circles, Sigma males operate very differently from most. Unlike those who build wide networks of acquaintances for status, convenience, or popularity, Sigma males have little interest in superficial friendships. They are not driven by social validation or the need to be surrounded by people. Instead, they are deeply intentional about whom they allow into their inner world, applying a quiet yet rigorous set of criteria that most will never even realize exists. At the core of their selection process are 3 unshakable values: loyalty, intelligence, and integrity. First, loyalty is non-negotiable. Sigma males are highly independent individuals, but when they form bonds, they expect a level of trust that is sacred. They silently assess whether someone is a type who could betray them, gossip behind their back, or falter under pressure. Anyone who shows signs of unreliability is gently but permanently distanced. Next, intelligence plays a major role, not just academic intelligence, but intellectual depth. Sigma males crave stimulating conversations, not surface-level banter. They want to know that the people around them can challenge their ideas, offer new perspectives, and engage in meaningful dialogue. Shallow talk bores them. Thoughtful minds attract them. Finally, they look for integrity. Do this person's actions align with their words? Do they live by principles or shift with the wind to please others? Sigma males have a strong internal code of ethics and expect the same from those close to them. They don't tolerate hypocrisy or performative virtue. Because Sigma males rarely explain their inner workings, their friendships often appear accidental or spontaneous to outsiders. People might assume these bonds just happen naturally, when in reality, every connection has been carefully observed, tested, and vetted over time. The Sigma male circle may be small, but is forged through quiet discernment and profound respect. And once someone earns their trust, the Sigma becomes an unwavering and deeply loyal friend, albeit one who still values a solitude above all else. 9. Privately curious, publicly uninterested. To the casual observer, Sigma males may appear disinterested, aloof, even apathetic when it comes to popular culture, current trends, or everyday gossip. They often seem indifferent during group conversations about celebrity drama, viral news, or fashion fads. This carefully maintained exterior of disconnection is not accidental. It's a deliberate performance of apathy. But beneath that quiet, detached demeanor lies a mind that is anything but disengaged. Privately, Sigma males are intensely curious. Their thirst for knowledge runs deep, and they tend to spend countless hours immersed in books, obscure documentaries, long-form essays, and fringe academic research. Their curiosity doesn't follow the crowd. It leads them into unexplored intellectual terrain, from ancient history to experimental science, from philosophy to offbeat psychology. They are constantly learning, though rarely in ways that are loud or obvious. What sets them apart is not just what they know, but how strategically they use that knowledge. Sigma males don't feel the need to prove themselves by flaunting what they've learned. They reveal only what is necessary, only when it serves a purpose, whether to disarm a rival, surprise a skeptic, or gain influence in a subtle interaction. Their intellectual power is not in boasting, but in timing. By keeping their capabilities concealed until the right moment, they maintain an aura of unpredictability and control. In a world where information is often weaponized for attention and ego, Sigma males quietly build an arsenal of insight. Their performance of disinterest acts as a cloak, allowing them to observe others without being noticed and accumulate knowledge without drawing suspicion. While others waste energy trying to appear informed, the Sigma male becomes informed and then patiently waits for the perfect moment to let the truth of his depth surface. 10. How Sigma males privately detach emotion from decisions. One of the defining characteristics of the Sigma male is their ability to detach emotions from their decision-making process. Unlike many others who allow feelings like fear, guilt, or attachment to influence their choices, Sigma males approach decisions with a calm, rational mindset. Before taking any significant action, they deliberately step back from the situation and strip away any personal biases or emotional attachments. This rationality protocol allows them to view the situation through a purely objective lens, free from the clouding effects of emotional responses. This detached approach serves them well in high-stakes situations where others might falter due to emotional overwhelm. Sigma males are known for their ability to weigh the pros and cons of decision logically, looking at facts and outcomes rather than how a decision makes them feel in a moment. This often leads to a more measured, strategic choice that might be overlooked by those who act impulsively or based on sentiment. By keeping emotions at bay, Sigma males are able to avoid falling into common emotional traps that others may struggle with, such as guilt, fear, or an unhealthy attachment to certain outcomes. Where others might second-guess themselves or be swayed by personal feelings, Sigma males can remain focused on what is best for their long-term goals and overall well-being. As a result, they are able to make decisions that are optimal in nature, even if those choices might be difficult or unpopular. This ability to detach emotionally and think clearly gives Sigma males a distinct advantage. Whether in professional settings, personal relationships, or complex life decisions, their approach allows them to remain grounded and unaffected by the chaos that often sways others. This makes them a powerful force in environments that require clear-headedness and effective action, allowing them to navigate challenges with unparalleled precision and confidence. Conclusion: the Sigma male's ultimate power. Sigma males are masters of a unique and powerful approach to life, one that revolves around living what could be described as dual lives. This isn't driven by deceit or dishonesty, but rather by a deliberate decision to protect their independence and freedom. Freedom from societal pressures, from the expectations of others, and from the need to fit into traditional molds. Sigma males consciously control how they are perceived by others in order to maintain the autonomy to live life on their own terms. They understand the strategic importance of presenting a public persona that serves their goals, while keeping their true selves hidden from those who might attempt to manipulate or influence them. This careful balancing act ensures they are not easily swayed by outside forces, and it protects their inner world from being exploited. At the heart of the Sigma male's power lies their ability to safeguard their inner world from the pollution of society, its chaos, distractions, and superficial demands. In a world that is often loud, competitive, and filled with noise, Sigma males are able to retain their peace, protect their values, and maintain control over their emotional lives. This emotional autonomy allows them to be unaffected by the expectations of others, and while the majority of people may chase approval and external validation, Sigma males quietly pursue their goals with precision and purpose. They move through life without being distracted by the approval or judgment of others, which allows them to remain focused and committed to what truly matters to them. What truly sets Sigma males apart is what they choose not to reveal. Their power is not rooted in what they broadcast to the world, but in the deliberate silence and mystery they maintain around their true abilities and accomplishments. They resist the urge to constantly prove themselves or show off their success. It is through this mystery that they hold an advantage over those who feel compelled to constantly seek validation or recognition. The Sigma male's strength lies in their ability to withhold and remain enigmatic, which makes them unpredictable, intriguing, and ultimately far more effective in achieving their goals. Living strategically, with intention and deep thought, Sigma males create lives that are uniquely their own, often operating outside the bounds of societal norms and expectations. This approach isn't about fitting into a predefined box. Rather, it's about defining success on their own terms, whether they consciously recognize it or not. Many people may find some of these traits in themselves or others they know. The Sigma male archetype is far more than just a personality type. It represents a masterclass in living authentically. It involves deep intelligence, emotional control, and the kind of strategic thinking that empowers individuals to thrive in a world that demands conformity. Those who embrace the Sigma mindset may not always seek the spotlight, but their influence is deeply felt, subtly shaping the world around them in ways that often go unnoticed, but always make a lasting impact. Do you resonate with the ideas I shared in this video? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in more content about Sigma males, explore the other videos on this channel. Thanks for watching.